Nestled deep within the Marco Valley, also known as the breadbasket of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, lies the Richland Park SDA Adventist Pioneer Primary School. This school was founded in 1945 by a small group of early Adventist believers in the rural community of Richland Park. Though they had only a primary school education, they were desirous of having their children educated in an environment that was congruent with their newfound beliefs. Alice Williams, one of the early converts, started a private school, and a number of Adventist parents sent their children to her school. Although this private school closed sometime later, it served as a catalyst for the Richland Park Seventh-day Adventist Primary. Joseph Backus, who was the first elder at that time, consented to use his home to house the school in its infancy. From there, it was relocated to Lynch's Hall at an area locally known as the Junction. In the early 1940s, a plot of land at Bella Plain was acquired for the erection of a church. Upon completion, it served as both the church and school for a number of years. In 1962, the school was relocated to the basement of the current church building in an extension made from bamboo, with a dirt floor and a corrugated galvanized roof, fondly referred to as Bamboo School. The less than ideal conditions forced the brethren to relocate to the house of Eli Backus in the late 1960s. The bamboo uprights were later replaced by concrete walls. The floor was paved, and the school returned to the renovated extension of the basement. In the early 1970s, a wing was added to the current church building, and the upper floor was used to house the school. The classrooms were partitioned by chalkboards and had to be arranged for classes on Mondays and packed away on Fridays for church services on Sabbaths. The school remained at the wing of the church until 1990, when Mountain View Adventist Academy moved into its present school building. It was finally relocated to the basement of the church, where it still operates today. From its inception, the school was managed by the Richland Park Seventh-day Adventist Church Board and later on a school board. It was supervised by the education directors of the South Caribbean Conference for 31 years, 1945 to 1976. The East Caribbean Conference also for 31 years, from 1976 to 2007, and from 2007 to the present by the SVG Mission and Region. From 1963 to the present time, all principals and teachers have been from St. Vincent. The local principals assigned were John Brown, 1963, Gideon Lewis, Whitford Backus, 1968 to 1970, Vilna Kidd King, 1970 to 1971, Armin Lewis from 1972 to 1974, Verena Bowman from 1974 to 1999, and as a teacher from 1971 to 1972, Rubina Lewis, 1999 to 2015.
Hello everyone, my name is Rubina Lewis and I'm the past principal of the Richland Park SDA Primary School, now known as the Adventist Pioneer Primary School. I began working at the school in 1991 as a teacher. Prior to that, I worked with the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for 20 years, 8 of those 20 years as a qualified assistant teacher. I became the principal of the school in 1999, and I worked as a principal and teacher for 16 years until 2015 when I retired.
And Marva Hector from 2015 to present.
Good day everyone. My name is Mrs. Marva Hector from Richland Park. I am the current principal of the Adventist Pioneer Primary School. The students have been performing excellent both in internal examinations and also external. For the past 8 years, we have been receiving 100% pass rate for the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment education done by the grade 6 students. They performed at the highest level, and they are in the level with the percentage pass for the government overall. Most of our students usually assigned to Mountain View Adventist Academy, so the education from here continues into Mountain View, where our students usually excel and go further. Some of our younger students who excel, we had Kyle De Silva. He did the best overall at CSEC for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and he also did well at the community college where he is an island scholar. At this point, he is in his 3rd year studying to be a medical doctor.
The church is used for Sabbath school, and so getting your charts arranged in a classroom as you, the teacher, would want to have it, you could not have done that because you have to prepare for Sabbath school on Sabbath. So you cannot leave out the things that you want to leave out and, arrange your class in a nice way. You couldn't do that. And I believe that during those years, the church also had its share of inconvenience, because sometimes what they wanted to do, they could not have done it because of the school. There were times when the church, when there was a funeral and the school had to be dismissed early. There were times when the church wanted to do renovation and so forth, and they were not able to do it at the time that they wanted to do it because of the school.
The major challenge that we are facing is space. Yes, there are Adventists and non-Adventists who wish that their child or children attend our school, but because of the limited space that we have in the basement of the Richland Park Seventh-day Adventist Church, we cannot accommodate all. Hence the reason for us pushing for a new school building where we can accommodate all our students. Some of the benefits that we can gain from having a new school building: our students will be more comfortable learning in an environment that is conducive, meaning a spacious environment where they can concentrate more, pay more attention in class, because sometimes they are easily distracted by another student touching their desk, touching their chair. That's the closeness in which they are packed right now. So each class having their own classroom, and a modern classroom where we could have our whiteboards or interactive boards or space so that these children can move freely.
A new building for our school, and I say our school, is very important. First of all, It would add to the aesthetic of the school. You know, you have a sort of pride, good pride I should say, having a proper school building, one that you can be proud of and say, this is my school. It is going to add also to the education of the children. Having a new school is going to add to the education of the children because they would have opportunities that they didn't have in the present situation. For example, they would have a complete science lab so that they can do their science. They would have a computer lab. They can also have a kitchen, a proper kitchen, a lunch room, a sick bay. All those things are very important to the children. And one of the things that I believe the teachers would like is that of having their own classrooms. Presently, the classrooms are separated just by a chalkboard, so you can hear the teacher in the next class next to you and so forth, and that's not good for learning. But God has been very good. In spite of those challenges, the school prospered. But having a classroom, an individual classroom, that would help the teachers, it would assist the children. And another thing, with our success rate, it would add to the enrollment of the school. Having a proper building would definitely add to the enrollment of the school.
Getting that school building that we are in dire need of, it will help us a long way, and not only us, but also community members. And not only our immediate community members, but the St. Vincent and the Grenadines on a whole.
The Richland Park Seventh-day Adventist Primary School is a feeder school for the Mountain View Adventist Academy and ranks among the top schools in SVG with a 100% pass rate in the external exam CPEA for the past 8 years, above the national average of about 85%. Its graduates are often among the top students in every form at Mountain View Adventist Academy and are often the top performers in the external exam CSEC. It has been 79 years. The enrollment has grown from a few students in a one-room classroom and 2 teachers to an enrollment to 145 and a staff of 7 teachers. Untrained teachers have been replaced by trained Seventh-day Adventist certified teachers, and the curriculum has expanded, yet the school has no building of its own. The classrooms are still partitioned by chalkboards, there is overcrowding, and classes are held in the sanctuary. Moreover, there is a waiting list of students waiting to be enrolled. Suitable lands adjoining the church have been purchased. Architectural plans have been drawn. A budget has been made. There is need for all hands on deck to raise the necessary funds to have a school erected to the honor and glory of God. Join us as we help fulfill this dream. We solicit your cooperation, and a blessing awaits you.
So whatever our donors do is going to assist boys and girls to get a Christian education, to fit them not only for life here on earth, but for life, eternal life.